the confidence to follow your heart even when it leads you off the well-worn path, and that will make all the difference. My second story is about love and loss. I was lucky. I found what I love to do early in life. Rose and I started Apple in my parents' garage when I was 20. We worked hard, and in 10 years, Apple had grown from just two of us in the garage into a 2 billion company with over 4,000 employees. We had just released our finest creation, the Macintosh, a year earlier, and I just turned 30. And then I got fired. How can you get fired from a company you started? Well, as Apple grew, we hired someone who I thought was very talented to run the company with me. And for the first year or so, things went well. But then our visions of the future began to diverge, and eventually we had a falling out. When it did, our board of directors sided with him. So at 30, I was out, very publicly out. What had been the focus of my entire other life was gone, and it was devastating. I really didn't know what to do for a few months. I felt that I had let the previous generation of entrepreneurs down, that I had dropped the baton as it was being passed to me. I met with that packet and Bob Noyce and tried to apologize for screwing up so badly. I was a very public failure and even thought about running away from the valley. But something slowly began to dawn on me. I still loved what I did. The tone of events at Apple had not changed that one bit. I had been rejected, but I was still in love. And so I decided to start over. I didn't see it then, but it turned out that getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could ever happen to me. The heaviness of being successful was replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again. Less sure about everything. It freed me to enter one of the most creative periods of my life. In the next 5 years, I started a company named Next, another company named Pixar, and fell in love with amazing woman who would become my wife. Pixar went on to create the world's first computer animated feature film Toy Story, and is now the most successful animation studio in the world. In a remarkable turn of events, Apple bought Next. I returned to Apple, and the technology we developed at Next is at the heart of Apple's current renaissance. And Lynn and I have a wonderful family together. I'm pretty sure none of this would have happened if I hadn't been fired from Apple. It was awful testing medicine, but I guess the patient needed it. My third story is about death. When I was 17, I read a quote that went something like, if you live each day as if it was your last, someday you will most certainly be right. Since then, it made an impression on me. And since then, for the past 33 years, I have looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today was the last day of my life, would I want to do what I'm about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many days in a row, I know I need to change something. Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choice in life. Because almost everything, or external expectations, or pride, or fear, or embarrassment, or failure, these things just fall away in the face of death, leaving only what is truly important. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There's no reason not to follow your heart. About a year ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. I was scanned at 7:30 in the morning, and it clearly showed a tumor on my pancreas. I didn't even know what pancreas was. The doctors told me this was almost certainly a type of cancer that is incurable, and that I should expect to live no longer than 3 to 6 months. My doctor advised me to go home and get my affairs in order, which is doctor's code for prepare to die. It means to try and tell your kids everything. You thought you'd have the next 10 years to tell them in just a few months. It means to make sure everything is buttoned up so that it will be as easy as possible for your family. It means to say your goodbyes. I lived with that diagnosis all day. Later that evening, I had a biopsy where they stuck an endoscope down my throat, through my stomach and into my brought needle into my pancreas and got a few cells from the tumor.